Hi, this is Jay from Lo Shu Numerology.com, and today we're going to be doing a reading for Red. And I've got Red's birthday digit here, and, well, minus the zeros because we don't use zeros in Lo Shu. First thing we do is drop these digits down here, distribute them into the Lo Shu Magic Square grid. The ones always go here, 7's here, another 1, 9 up here, a 2, and we've got another 7. So now that we have found all of the places for the numbers, we're going to look for patterns, and these patterns are rows, columns, or diagonals where all of the locations have numbers in them or they're all blank. So that's the first thing we do is look for rows, and we don't have any rows here where all of them are filled or blank. So columns we go to next, and we've got one right off the bat here. And so this gets a dashed arrow. And these columns have a combination of some and none, so no arrows there. Diagonals, though, we've got one right here. Another dashed arrow because all of them are empty. And this diagonal is some and none, so no arrow there. Now we look for locations in the grid that have more than one numeral. We've got 2 of those. We've got the 1s and the 7s. So now that we have found all of the patterns and the multiple numbers, next thing we do is grab the Lo Shu deck, and I'm going to pull the cards out here, Red, for the reading, and we'll be right back for that. All right, we're back, and the first thing we're going to be looking at is this arrow right here, this down arrow on the left-hand column. This is the thought arrow. Are you an idea person or are you an action person? And this is a minus thought. It says you're an action person. This also tells me that maybe you're not a detail person. If somebody's planning a big event, you're probably not the person they would call on to handle all the details. On the other hand, if somebody's wanting to go out and just do something for the weekend, you're probably one of the first people that they're going to call. Next thing we're going to look at is this diagonal arrow, and that is spirituality. Are you more spiritual or more skeptical? This says you're more skeptical. So, while some people say that the minus spirituality arrow means that you're closed-minded, I don't think that's always a bad thing. You want to make sure you're doing what's right rather than just taking someone else's word for it. Someone says the answer is X, then maybe it is, but you're going to look at all the options before you come to a decision. There are some people who say that there's a conflict between these two. If this says that you don't think things through, you just jump into action, and this says you don't take somebody's word for it, you have to look into something first, that's kind of a conflict. I don't see it that way. I see this is more of you decide to do something yourself, you jump at it. Somebody else tells you something, you want to verify that. The old Ronald Reagan quote, trust but verify. I think you're a verify then trust. The next thing we're going to be looking at are the 1s, and the 1s are beginnings, which tells me that starting a new project is something you enjoy. It also tells me you're not afraid to rely on yourself. You don't need someone to hold your hand during tough times. And finally, we get to something that somebody's going to say, wait, this is a conflict. This is a real conflict because the 7's here. We've had a minus spirituality, and what are the 7's? Oh, the 7's are a plus spirituality. When this happens, we drop down to one of the alternates, and one of these alternates fits perfectly with this minus spirituality, and that's equilibrium. Based on the previous, you like to take a closer look at things, meaning equilibrium fits you perfectly. You look for the balance in things. You don't veer wildly from one side to the other. You usually take a more centered path. So Red, I am looking at somebody who, based on the beginnings and the minus thought, can jump in and get started on something, and it doesn't matter if somebody's helping you or not. If something needs to get done, you can jump in and do that. And with this spirituality combo, the negative and the positive together says you're not going to just take somebody's word for something. You're going to look into it, and you're going to find the balance in whatever it is that's going on. So there's your reading. I hope it gives you something to think about.